Today on JD Cars, we're going to be doing some body work on our 2005 Toyota Tacoma that we got at a Copart auction. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing some body work on the Copart Tacoma that we picked up at the auction, somewhat regrettably. But no, it'll be good to practice some of our bodywork skills. There is a good amount of rust and some scratches and whatnot all over this truck. And while it does have a new frame, we should work on the rust that's on the body just to prevent it from spreading. It does look like the rocker panels have already been done on this truck. As you can see here, this definitely isn't the original paint. This looks like a shiny, like hardware store paint. Looks like they got the right paint for the side here, kind of. But someone has definitely done the cab corners already, which is kind of a blessing that we don't have to mess around with those. That's definitely a bigger pain than what we are focusing on today. The bed corner right here, it's pretty much non-existent right here, but I think we should be able to pull off the fender flare here, fill it with some body filler, sand it down, give it some paint, and this is such a small sliver, we probably won't even notice that by the time we're done. But we're also focusing in on other little areas like this guy, and what we're going to start off with before we give the truck a wash is fixing the tailgate. Because as you can see here, this repair was anything but good. Luckies. Tailgate has a little snap in the center here, and both latches are actually messed up. This one does not latch, and that one is stuck latched. I have new latch hardware coming in, new handle, all that good stuff, and yeah. So, time to make this thing a little bit prettier. Let's pull her in the garage and get to work. Alright, I've got it welded up. I even welded up the outside right here and the top a little bit as well. Not my prettiest work, but definitely got the job done. We got our plate welded on here. And I don't really expect the tailgate to stay in place here when I release the strap that's holding it in, because there's no latch on this side. But let's see what happens. Yeah, a little bit better than before though, I will say. It used to be hanging out completely open, and this whole thing flexed a ton. It's pretty solid now. So once we have this other latch, I'm sure this will be solid. This doesn't flex anymore. So I'm really happy with the welding. Filled up a ton of cracking and holes here. Probably gonna hit this side really quickly. It's just some black spray paint that I have on hand, because this entire part right here is gonna get covered up by the tailgate protector. We'll leave this part to get painted with actual primer and paint and clear coat when that comes along, but yeah. Alright folks, so we got the tailgate mended up here. Actually looks pretty good, if you ask me. And structurally it's a lot more solid than it was before. So I'm happy with this. I'm excited to get the new tailgate hardware in so we can actually get this thing opening and closing. We'll get that new protector in as well. And I'm gonna be out here tomorrow, pull off those fender flares, see what we got underneath, but more importantly, pull them off so that we can gain access to this area right here. Sand it down, fill it up with some Bondo, and paint it up. We definitely got our work cut out for us, but I'm down to tackle it. Hope you guys are down to come along for the ride. Be back at it tomorrow. See you then. Alright, so I'm pretty sure I left off with you guys doing some welding on the tailgate. Since then, I've done another manifold and catalytic converter assembly over here on the driver's side. Should have our exhaust sorted out now. And I've gotten in a bunch of parts for the tailgate, including a new latch, new handle, new linkages, and a new protector for that top edge. I actually found this kind of kit on eBay. Appears to come with pretty much everything we need for the tailgate. Starting off with a new latch. This is actually what pulls and pushes the two linkages. This one has a camera hole, so we'll probably add a camera later on. We have our two latches. This is what actually holds the tailgate shut. So we have two new latches and linkages. And this kit also includes new striker plates. Truck doesn't really need these, but it'll be a good idea just to toss these on, spiff things up a little bit. So to get our tailgate open, I actually have to take a pick tool, figure out how to pick this open. This latch is jammed shut and the linkage, as you can see, is not doing its job. Alright, little pop of the pick tool. Got the tailgate open here. Looks like we probably should replace these cables. They've seen some better days. But start off with the latches here. Would you look at that? This side actually lines up, looks pretty good. Body lines line up pretty well, but she stays latched in on both sides. See if our handle works here. Beautiful. Hell yeah. Well, we fixed the tailgate. Everything works mechanically, and we reinforced the center here so it can actually take some load. And all we have to do now is put that face cover back on and that top protector strip. We should be good to go. I did order up new little grommets. These guys are stripped out from the looks of it. We're gonna pull all these out, put new grommets in, put down that rectangular plate, and put on our new top protector, and this tailgate should be as good as new. However, before we get to that point, we do have to sand down this edge right here, repaint, might even sand down this scratch as well. Not sure how involved I'm gonna get with the tailgate, but we gotta do some paint work before we can put all the finishing touches on. We're over at the front passenger door now to replace the blower motor, which looks like this. It's basically just a big fan with a motor, and ours seems to have burnt out. See if I'm able to get it to do this today. But if you're following the TikTok, you saw in my everything wrong with the Copart truck video, smoke coming out of this vent. So grab the key. Yeah, I don't even want to smell it, to be honest. Oh, yep, there's the smell. That thing is shot. Let's get down under the glove box here. There's our old blower motor right there. Oh, very nice. Anyone hungry for an acorn? Jeez, that's not a good sign. Seems an animal was probably in this truck at some point, trying to make its way down into the cab, but of course the blower motor here blocked that. Disconnect our electrical harness, pull this sucker out, bring in our new one, tuck this sucker up in there, and re-secure it with the 3 screws. Actually amazed, that took literally 5 minutes, if not less. But hopefully that was all. Let's see if it works now. Oh yeah. Oh, that's great. Have nice airflow through all these suckers now. Wonderful. All the different speeds appear to work, so that's a job well done right there. Got our new blower motor in, back in action in the interior. All we gotta do is, you know, clean things up a little in here and we'll be rocking. As with most things we've done on the Tacoma so far, I've been really happy with how easy it is to work on. Everything's really well designed. Compared to the BMWs I'm coming from, this thing is a joy to work on. Can't believe how quickly we just banged out the tailgate, and also that AC blower was stupid easy. Like, I'm sure on a BMW it's much more difficult. Anyways, the last thing we're gonna do today in preparation for body work is pulling off the fender flares, mainly these two rear ones. I think I'm also gonna pull off the driver fender flare, as long as it's not too difficult. You guys already know why I'm pulling off the bed ones, because we have to do some bed repair right here at the front corner. Up here at the driver, this fender has a little bit of rust down at the bottom corner here, so I'm going to pull off this fender flare as well, see if we can get a little bit better access to lay some Bondo and repaint this area. Alright, so with our fender flares off, you can see we have quite the damage here from rust. This is, oh man, there's literally just paint left. That's it. Like, that's just some paint and absolute garbage. Luckily, because this truck does have the fender flares on it, this area really isn't of major concern. It's just this strip here that's going to be showing. Yes, you could argue that this part is structural, but not really. All the load from the bed is distributed over here onto the frame rails. This really isn't too structural. And with the fender flare being here, we really just need to be able to get one screw into the bottom of the fender flare, and the rest of the clips and screws will hold that on just fine. So, gonna have to get rid of all this stuff. Same deal over on the passenger side. Driver's side, excuse me. A lot of rust right here. This is literally just paint. Crazy. But as you can see, here's one spot that the fender flare is supposed to be screwed in, and it wasn't. And before, it was on here just fine. I had no worries of it coming off. So I'm sure it can be missing a screw or two. It's missing this screw as well. Try to save these guys right here. That's what the fender flare screws into. We'll hold on to this guy, try to secure it into our repaired area. Right now I'm just trying to figure out how I'm gonna shape this. We got a gallon of body filler for 20 bucks, so I'm not really worried about being too wasteful. Over up by the driver door, we do have a bit more rust under the fender flare. I'm not too worried about this, to be honest, just some bubbling paint. But this does give us a lot better access to work on this corner that is showing and is quite an eyesore, so we'll repair that as well. Right now I'm going to pull this thing outside, give it a full wash down. Don't really want any dirt when we're doing the body and paint work, so we'll get her cleaned up, and tomorrow we'll be working on filling up the body and sanding it down, painting it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys are getting excited about the taco rebuild here. I've become pretty fond of the Tacoma, and I'm contemplating holding on to it when we're done with this rough rebuild. I'm not going crazy on it. I just want to get it good enough. This wasn't really a build I planned on, but we're doing it, getting her done, having fun, learning stuff about Toyotas. Hope you guys are as well. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on JD Cars.